Bonjour. Good morning, good morning. Okay, I feel like I should... Maybe I can use this as a stand. Is that better? Hi. Okay, breakfast. We have steamed pumpkin, steamed prawn, tomato, garlic, chili, soy, vinegar, broccoli, pickle, steamed egg, and sweet potato, millet, and rice porridge. Very healthy, very slay, very elderly Chinese grandma food. Happy Halloween! What's everyone doing for Halloween this year? Guys, I don't... Okay. I'm DJing tonight, so I'm gonna get music ready after this. Excuse my pile of clothing in the background. I'm gonna be shooting and selling, hopefully. How is everyone? What's the vibe? I've never gone live on my phone before on TikTok. I mean, on YouTube. Is the sound working? Midnight in Toronto. Wow. Okay, it's midday in Shanghai. Hello from Shanghai. I'm a new follower. Oh my god, thank you for supporting. Thank you for following. Stressing because I have to make my entire costume before I sleep tonight. Oh my god. What costume are you making? What are you going to dress up as? 9 p.m. in Oregon right now. Wow. I'm already in the future. Do we have any topic or content requests? Please let me know. I was planning on going to Shanghai next year with some friends. Come through, Shanghai's fun. I'm gonna be lucky cat. You mean like the... How do you release stress? I go dancing, go to dance class, go to yoga, thought dump, journal, scream. Go for a walk. Hashtag mental illness walk, gang. Underrated. Think of your emotions like the weather, you know? They come and go. Living in Shanghai in English. It's obviously better if you can speak Chinese. I know people that have gotten by with very little Chinese here, but you can still visit with just English. Yay, I'm so glad you enjoyed the microdosing risk video. That's how I live my life, for real. do it ironically. If you can't do it scared, it's ultimately a more fun approach anyway, you know? Doing things from a place of humor is going to be more fun, I think. Oh my God, thank you for sharing me with your friends. I normally go on walks lately. I've been doing Stairmaster 20 minutes, treadmill, incline 30 minutes straight. It feels so good afterwards. I'm really thinking about joining the gym. I kind of hate the gym, but I'm like, maybe if I just go once a week, it would be good for me. Any tips for staying authentic and true to yourself? You just have to have practices in place, I think, that allow you to ground yourself on a regular basis, you know? It's not like something that you sort of have to like think about, in my opinion. It's like, as long as I'm meditating regularly, journaling regularly, exercising regularly, being mindful of my sleep and like how I spend my time, I think that is what helps you to ground yourself so that you can then just like focus on living when you're living, you know? Having these little things in place is like having anchor points for yourself so you don't just like float away. That's how I feel, you know? I also decided I want to cook from scratch. I got into baking. Yes, like doing things that require you to slow down and just like focus, I think is important, you know? Because I'm like, love the idea of being able to do everything at once. I want to eat, stream, listen to music, blah, 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 blah. If I could read a book right now, I'd do that too. But I try to make sure that I have times in the day where I'm just focused on doing one thing, you know? So like making breakfast, even if it's just like you make yourself a tea in the morning. I live solo, thank God. I should be mindful of my sleep. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Thanks for joining, babe. Yeah, sleep is the hardest one for me because, I don't know, I've just always stayed up really late, like my whole life. And I just feel like if I went to bed early, my whole life would change. That's really how I feel, but I haven't mastered that yet. I'm gonna work on it. You've inspired me to meditate. I'm so glad. You seem so grounded and whole within yourself. I'm striving for that. You're such an inspiration. Thank you. Honestly, like, I try to emphasize that it's a process and it's a practice. Like, if I didn't do all the things that I do to stay grounded, I would literally be like a psychopath, I feel. Like, so I'm telling you from personal experience, like, to manage this feeling of overwhelm and like overthinking and anxiety and depression, like these are all things that I feel like if I don't like impose discipline in my life, I'll just float away. That's why I talk about like meditation and journaling and making sure that I am going to pole dance or going to yoga on a regular basis. Those are the things that help me to feel grounded. And whenever I don't do those things regularly, I feel insane. But also, like, I've been pretty consistent over the last 5 years, so I don't need to imagine what life would be like if I wasn't doing those things, because once you build a habit, it becomes, you start to feel like something's wrong if you don't do it, and you want that feeling for good habits. You know, if you're trying to break a bad habit, it's like if you're addicted to your phone, when you try to not look at your phone, you feel bad that you're not looking at your phone, you know? So you ultimately want to create that dynamic, but with a positive habit, because the habit can have a like productive or destructive effect on your life. So trying to replace habits that have a destructive effect on you with a positive habit, I think is a good start. Yoga and meditation have helped so much with my anxiety, way better than therapy. Yes. Like, therapy is just there to help you work through anything that you pull out from meditation and like journaling, but it doesn't, I think if you do it regularly, you don't even really need to be seeing the therapist as often, you know. Listening to your takes, Shanghainese, American, DJ in the States. So the little intersections make it extra fun. Oh my God, slay! Shanghai represent. My toxic ex messed up my sleep cycle for the last 3 days. He would only respond after 11 p.m. I would stay up until midnight. We went no contact last night. Proud of you, girl. That's actually the worst, you know, when you feel like your life is starting to be derailed because you're almost like putting it on pause for someone else who's ultimately not respecting you. It's time to go, you know? I think a healthy relationship, you need to be able to foster like mutual reassurance and trust. So if that person isn't replying to you, you don't feel like a sense of anxiety, you know? And obviously they were able to create that feeling at first for you to develop the relationship. So when you don't have that feeling anymore, you know that there's something going on, you know? Worst feeling ever. I think speaking with more confidence just requires practice, you know? I don't look at my old videos that often, but when I see them, or if I repost them, or some of them I don't even repost because I'm like, my cadence is so different when I first started posting in comparison to now. And I think there's still lots of room for improvement, always. I literally don't know how to use. I plan to go to bed at my normal bedtime, 10:30 p.m. tonight. Period. And that's literally what you need to do. That's how you set a boundary. To remind yourself what's important to you, you know? I think that's what having healthy boundaries is. It's like your ability to remind yourself of what's important to you rather than feel like you need another person to give you permission to do that, you know? When people are like, I need you to do this because I have a boundary, that's you implying that the other person has power or control over your ability to remind yourself what's important. And like the real growth comes when you're like, you know what, whether you are able to do the thing that I prefer you to do or not, I can remind myself of what's important and act accordingly. And if you're not okay with that, then I'm also okay with that, you know, which is hard and a process. It's like me with my phone right now. I'm like, can my phone just not have anything interesting on it so I can just sleep? But ultimately I have to be like, okay, I'm putting the phone down and I'm going to remind myself that my sleep is important. I'm not there yet. I'm going to make a note of that for a future video. Yeah, any content requests, let me know. Maybe I should try. I don't even know if this is gonna snap. Thanks for joining. Thank you, babe. I love your hot girl habits kind of videos. Make a series and stack them into a playlist. Okay, true. I have been meaning to organize my YouTube into playlists. So when people ask me like, how do I deal with a breakup? I can just be like, breakup playlist here. Can you talk about how to cope with a big move moving across the country? Oh my God, that's so exciting though. I actually have videos on moving city and moving country. If you search in the channel, there will be some content already about it. But I think that like, I'm gonna do the breakup playlist expeditiously. It's on, just look up breakup on my channel or on my podcast, and there's training for a breakup. It's my most listened to episode. But yeah, in terms of moving, I would say consider it like a new adventure. Don't feel like you need to replicate the life that you have now in a new place. Open up your mind to the fact that this is a new chapter and you can sort of like define and write it as you go. Because I think sometimes, like for example, I was talking to my friend recently. She moved from New York to Shanghai. She said like at first she felt like she had to replicate what she had in New York here. And then she realized that she's in a different stage of her life. It's a different city and her like purpose and journey here is different. So she sort of also realized that culturally it's very different as well in terms of how people make friends and connect with each other and socialize. So that was also like a new challenge for her, but one that she ultimately appreciated. I was doing journaling about how my October went so far, writing down my faves of the month, and you're on the list. Yay. Oh my God, thank you so much. Glad I could catch you live. Thank you for joining. I'm also moving out soon too, out of my parents' home. I'm excited. Budgeting is a big thing. Oh my God, yeah. I can't give people financial advice. My philosophy is just make money, enjoy spending money, be mindful about the money that you save. But yeah, moving out of home is so exciting. I wish you all the best on your journey. Make sure to stay in touch with your parents as well. They'll miss you. I think a good thing when you first move out or when you're managing your money is to like try to do things in the cheapest, most utilitarian way first, and then you can slowly invest more and more money into something when you realize that it's important to you. You know, like if you aren't really into cooking, don't feel like you need to spend a bunch of money on like kitchenware if you never cook. But if you start cooking and you enjoy it and you do it regularly, okay, then you can invest in like a good quality pan rather than thinking you have to like have everything already. You know, like it took me ages even to just like find the right couch. You've changed my mindset so much. Thank you. Yay! You're welcome. Hobby ideas. Girl, you don't have anything that you're interested in learning or doing? Go to dance class. Learn to cook something new and fun. Get into reviewing movies or something. I don't know what your interests are. The point is just to engage yourself like curiously into something that keeps you engaged, you know. I've started a new hobby of Taekwondo because my mom says someone will kidnap me as soon as I move out. I love that. I really want to get into martial arts as well. Hard to decenter men when you want to have kids. I'm 30, running out of time. You're not running out of time, babe. Never think that you're running out of time. That just makes time run faster. And also, there are so many ways to have children now that don't require you to be in a long-term partnership with a man. And honestly, most women are not raising children with a male partner. So live your life to the fullest in the meantime, and then you will attract the right opportunities and experiences. I've been in such a slum/rot. I have so many tasks. I feel like I'm frozen. I can't get unstuck. Oh no. Okay, that's how I was feeling before. But I've been doing my 30-day no hating challenge, and it's actually been really helpful. Loving your 30-day no hating challenge. I've watched them all. Oh my God, yay! I have to put day 10, 11, and 12 together because I was working on long-term, long-form videos. Sorry. So I'm gonna put them all together. But yeah, actually the no hating challenge has been great. It makes time move a lot slower because you're like having to always bring awareness to the direction that your thoughts go. And then I feel like I've been pretty productive in the last 10 days compared to if I was just letting negative thought spirals overtake me, you know? But yeah, I think when I feel like I'm in a slump, I'll like do a thought dump and write out like all the things I feel really frustrated about. And then I'll write a list of all the things that I want to get done. And then I'll intentionally set like an activity or something. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to clean my room, or I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm going to go to pole dance class. And that's going to be like the circuit breaker for whatever loop I feel like I'm stuck in. I think that can be helpful. It doesn't mean that you're suddenly doing a 180 and then like everything makes sense, but it just will maybe shift you, even if just a little bit, out, and then you feel like a sort of sense of relief, and you can apply yourself with intention to whatever your next task is. How do you deal with jealous friends, or do you just don't? I can feel the energy shift. I just don't deal with it. Their jealousy is their problem, okay? If there's something that you've actually done to them, they would have a conversation with you, and then you could decide if what they're requesting from you is reasonable or not. If they don't have anything to say to you directly, just leave it, you know? And sometimes it's not even a jealousy thing, it's just people are living their life differently to how you want to live it now. People's priorities change. Just focus on what you're doing, and then let your friendships and your social circle recalibrate itself, you know? It inspired to start my own 30 expression. Yeah, I love that. That's what I want to do after the 30 day. Maybe like a 20 day, 4 weeks, 5 days a week, where I intentionally create something. And then it'll be my birthday, and then I'm going to take a break. 2-month long distance relationship. I realize I'm nonchalant girlfriend. I don't like initiate text calls. Well, just enjoy it while it's fun, and then dump him when it gets. I feel like it's been a while since you've been on live. What have you been doing in the meantime? I've been working on my 30-day no hating, and also long form content. So sometimes if I'm on too long, it's difficult for me to have the energy to film long form content. So that's why I haven't been on that much. And then also because I was doing the 30-day thing with the vlogs. It was a lot. I'm having sweet potato, millet, and rice porridge. Eat. Any advice on how to make more friends when out here trying? Enjoy your life. Do things that you enjoy. You don't need to go to a specific place or like have a specific tactic. I think you just need to feel like embodied in your life, like your energy and your intention is directed authentically, whether that's in your work, family, home life, whatever, your habits, your hobbies. And then I just believe that you will naturally be guided and led towards situations that will put you in a position to meet new people that are compatible with you, you know? That's kind of how I approach. Ex-best friend cut me off because I messed up plans with her once and didn't invite her somewhere. What do I do? Nothing. Just live your life. If you had a conversation with them and you're like, I'm really sorry, I didn't intend to, it won't happen again. If you like really mean it and they don't pick up what you're putting down, then they've got some other problem that's going unaddressed and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm on day 12 of 30 days no hating, so I have 18 days left. But ultimately, it's just going to become like an ongoing habit, I think. It was not just about like me and setting a boundary with myself, but also me setting a boundary like with the world. It's 12:25. I never feel proud of my achievements, just feels like a relief. Any advice? Maybe too much pressure. Yeah, you're not doing things that you enjoy. You're waiting for someone to give you permission to enjoy things later. So think of incorporating practices into your life or applying yourself in a way where you're like, I'm looking forward to doing this. I'm so lucky that I get to do this, rather than I have to do this, you know? Even just that subtle mind shift can make the most boring task like more interesting. But it's up to you to decide long term whether the thing that you're doing is something you want to continue doing or not. Like, I can't tell you, oh, the reason you're feeling this way means you have to quit your job. It means you need to reassess your attitude towards what you're doing and whether it's working for you long term or working against you, you know? Hi, 你在吃什么？我在吃红薯、小米、大米粥。Or just no hating, not being negative. It's just like, it's about bringing awareness to your thought patterns and your feelings, and like, when am I initiating a conversation just to complain for the sake of complaining? Or when am I facilitating a conversation just to complain for the sake of complaining? Like, I still believe in thinking critically, I still believe in analysis, I still believe in critique, but I feel like getting into conversations, whether it's with yourself or with other people, where you're literally just like hating for the sake of hating, is not productive, in my opinion. It's like so draining, and I just don't have the energy for it. And I feel like it holds you back in a lot of ways that you don't realize. It's so subtle. And a lot of people have given me that feedback too. They're like, okay, I've started doing this no hating thing, and it's really made me aware of not only patterns within themselves, but also other people, where there's just like, yeah, I don't know, I've become like really, really sensitive to that kind of energy now. So I just want to be mindful, because nothing good comes from it, you know? And I'm not saying you can't occasionally like vent and stuff, but being mindful is important. The no hating thing is my 30-day no hating challenge. I've posted it on my YouTube. Okay, wait, can you hear me? Is the sound working? That's the only trend that makes sense to me. More people should try it, yeah. Yeah, I have a habit tracker. Ah! Oh my goodness, how do I do this? Okay. Is the sound working now? Slay. Tell your friends. Should do my makeup actually. How did you make your move to China? I'm in America and Taiwanese American. Is it possible? It is possible. Start doing some research. You can get a job here, you can study here, and then meet people that can give you a job. You can open your own company. What if I'm dating someone who's genuinely good, but I feel like she's holding me back? I feel so bad. Break up. I think if you can't, I mean, have a conversation, obviously. My bad. Have a conversation. Be honest. Ask them, you know, what are they looking for in a relationship right now? Be honest about what you want from your life, from your own life. Ask them what they're looking for in their life, and if you can redefine the dynamic, you know, like maybe you've created something in your mind about how they feel about you or you feel about them without a conversation. So yeah, sorry. Don't break up just yet. Have a conversation, and maybe like you feel held back because, and you're using the relationship as an excuse to not go for whatever you want to go for because you're not yet ready to commit to that yet. Yeah, no. I'm just here to grind, and she's just a chiller. That's really it. Otherwise, extremely loving girl. Yeah, I think for them, you know, you could really commit to this thing. Love them, and you want to continue, then continue. And then if you feel like even making space for that relationship taking away from your ability to focus, then you need to reassess, I guess. Before I react to how I want to do is often too blind. Now you feel like a people pleaser. You just got to practice. Like I talk about meditation, journaling, thought dumping. You need to have those practices in place to like clear your mind at the beginning of the day so you can be more mindful. Logistical question: are your pole lessons in China affordable? They're pretty affordable, I think. Like kind of on par with how it is. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like cheap, and I wouldn't say that it's super expensive either. Like I just need to live there. Yeah, you'll figure it out, babe. Don't let financial things get in the way of your sleigh. Always tell yourself that you'll figure out how you're going to afford it. I'm interested in the possibility of moving to China too from the US. My career is in the medical field. I don't know if I can find a job there. Well, start doing some research and find out. I can't answer that for you. I need to get paid. Yeah, I'm curious to know more about why you feel like held back. What's the grind that you want to work on? I personally think it's really difficult to be in a committed relationship and to also feel like I'm committed to what I want to achieve at this stage in my life. So I don't even entertain romance because I know I can't give people what they want from me. What else is tea? What's Halloween? What's everyone going to dress up as for Halloween? Gay twink Playboy bunny, period. A clown low-key because it was a flop. Lol. Okay, well, get it out of your system. And then you can be the emperor, the dictator next year. Remember, after every flop comes a slay. So you have that to look forward to. Take stock and inventory of where you can improve or where you can just adjust. And you'll be slaying in no time. Yay! And it's never one or the other. You know, it's a combination of both, like yin and yang. Inside every slay, there is flop. Inside every flop, there is slay. Love you. I met no contact with this ass situationship, period. That's good. You're already on the way to slaying. Do you have Halloween plans? I am DJing tonight. I need to get music and my costume ready. Hooked up with a man of Tinder, slept over. Deep talk only to find myself unmatched after days. Girl, never give it up too quickly if you want to be taken seriously. But lesson learned, I guess. Don't assume that talking or sleeping with a man is indicative of their ability to commit. Because they think about these things completely differently to women. So you either think about it the same way that they think about it, or you don't engage. But I'm sorry that happened. At least you got laid. Look on the bright side. He got himself out of the way, you know. Anyone that's behaving like that is so not worth anything beyond one night. You know what I mean? It's definitely not your loss. He's literally just some guy. It could be anyone. And do you see yourself with a man in the future? I don't know. I don't really think about it. I don't think thinking about my life that way is productive. It does absolutely nothing for me to think like, and what if I want to be with a man? The hell? Did you read the Vogue article about having a boyfriend is embarrassing? Oh yeah. I made a video about it on YouTube. It's like 40 minutes long. Love your energy in the videos I watch every day. Slay. Thank you for joining. You're always eating this meal on TikTok live, lol. Yeah. How far ahead do you plan your life? Not very far. Anyone that knows me personally knows that at the moment, I basically can't plan my life more than like 2 weeks in advance. I mean, in terms of like hard planning, knowing what I'm going to be doing, it's like a 2-week window maybe. I'm a Sagittarius. And I have like a vision for how I want my life to be or how I want my life to feel long term, but in terms of like the specific plans in that feeling that will create that feeling, I don't really give myself like I don't know. I think everyone's different as well, you know. You need to work with your own personality, because some people do really well having their life planned down to the micro, you know, and some people don't, and I think I'm one of those people. Like I can't even plan my day properly. Currently binging your content. Thank you for supporting. It's so late here. Lots of love to you. Lots of love to you too, babe. Sleep well. My pile of clothes looks so ass in the background. I'm half on TikTok, half on YouTube at the moment, so excuse my divided attention. But yeah, how do you guys plan your lives? I don't really have like your life as in your life, not your life. Food looks so delicious. Yeah, gotta eat well, everyone. Hi, Queen. Hi, babe. Yeah, I just have the vibe that I want. I have maybe specific things that I would like to do, but I'm not that strict about it, because I try to leave room for what I can't predict for, and for those things to be even better than what I can imagine, you know? I think living life that way is more fun. To be like, okay, I want this or better, but my idea of what would be better is like this and that, but I'm also open to things presenting themselves that are even better than what I can imagine, you know? I don't think that I know everything. I think when you suspend the idea that you need to be certain or that you need to know how everything works, remember that there are so many things you can't predict for. And usually we catastrophize in that sense, like, oh my God, it could go so wrong. But you have to think like, oh my God, it could be so much better than I could ever imagine. That's the attitude that I am taking forward. I just vibe too. I feel a bit lost at the moment, but that's okay. You know, there's always times where you need to take a pause, look at the map, figure out which direction you want to go in, rest. Sometimes you literally just need to chill out, you know, like there is nothing that you have to be doing right now. You can just relax, just enjoy. You don't have to be on all the time. And that's something I have to remind myself of too. I put a lot of pressure on myself to be like, I need to be doing this. I need to be doing this. I can't, every single hour of the day I have to be doing something, but nobody lives like that, you know? And if they are living like that, they have a whole bunch of people facilitating that for them. To do that alone is very, very difficult. How do you figure out what your passions are when you don't really have any hobbies to begin with? You just try different things and see what you like. Do you think manifestation only works if you come from a place of certain privilege? No. It's all about mindset. Think about it like this. It's like when you are clear about where you are, and instead of feeling entitled to something that you don't have, you can, if you put yourself in the right mindset, it's like putting yourself in the right mindset allows you to sort of like adjust your focus so that your decision making is in service of your higher self or whatever you want to manifest, okay? So if I, for example, want better job opportunities. I need to be honest with myself about what my current situation is. I hate my job. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like that. I want the type of job that allows for this and that. Okay. So if you continue to adjust and regulate your emotions and put yourself in like a positive mental state, then you will make better decisions. You'll make more positive decisions towards a life that will attract those kinds of opportunities towards you. If you just think, my life is shit, my job is shit, everything is shit, I'm never going to get what I want, then that is going to mean that your focus is adjusted in that way, and you're only going to make decisions that further your current situation. So it's not about this person saying they've manifested all these things and they have all this privilege, and then you think, well, they have privilege and I don't have it, so I can't manifest. It's like, you can find a way to manifest your way or make decisions that are in service of a better version of you, or in a not so better version of you. You know what I mean? Don't think of it as like, this person has manifested all these things and they have privilege. Think, okay, what is going to work in my context? You're not comparing yourself to other people and thinking that you have to manifest exactly what they have. You need to manifest what makes sense for you. Okay, what's authentic to you and on your own timeline. I need to trust myself in this process. Yeah, I need to trust that it doesn't have to be linear either, you know, and it's probably not going to look the way that you anticipate or plan for. You know, be open to that. Know that you will get what you want, but your journey there is going to be maybe different to what you assume, you know, and I think that makes it much easier, because there are a lot of things that I've wanted to do, but I could never have predicted or told you how I would get them, you know, even though at the time I felt like, okay, I want to do this, and if I do this and do this and do this, then I'll get what I want. But in reality, it was like, okay, I want to do this. Okay, then this happened, and then that happened, and then I was connected to this person, and then I was in this place, and then I got the thing that I wanted, you know? So it's like when you're planting a seed, you don't plant the seed and then you keep digging it up, wondering why it's not growing. Okay, you need to plant the seed, water it, leave it, make sure that it's got enough sunlight, work on some other plants, blah, 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 and then slowly, the plant will grow. Do you have any DJ sets in Australia? Just Asia. Just Asia at the moment. I know you mentioned doing things you enjoy. Things don't really stick with me. That's okay. You don't have to do a hobby to completion. It's just a hobby. It's just what you enjoy. If you don't enjoy it anymore, do something else. Or learn to delay gratification. Set yourself a goal. Like, okay, I want to be able to do pole dance to the point where I can lift myself up and invert. And then when you've done that, you can reassess if you want to continue or not. Sometimes you just need to set yourself something to work towards. I'm curious your thoughts on hookup culture. The lover girl in me has died. I'm against hookup culture, personally. I think that it's fine to maybe dip your toe in, you know, explore your sexuality, blah, blah, blah. But long term, I think that hookup culture is ultimately damaging to women and also men in a lot of ways. But that's just my opinion. Everyone's free to do as they please. I just think there are so many other ways that I would prefer to spend my time than doing any of the stuff that comes with hookup culture. Like, no. Can't get enough. You really got me through stuff. Bless. About to start work. Wish I could stay. Have fun. Enjoy your day, babe. Ready for this year to be over. I'll tell you that. Can't wait for the new year. Okay, yeah. That's how I felt as well. But then I did my 30-day no hating challenge and I feel a lot better, you know. So maybe there's like a 30-day something, or even like a 10-day something you can commit yourself to, and it will just give you like the ability to set some intention so the year doesn't just like end on a nothing, you know, because that's how I was feeling. Like, I asked myself, okay, if the year ended tomorrow, would I be happy with the effort that I've put in this year? Would I be happy with the output? And then I was like, no. So I was like, hey, what can I do so that when the year ends, And when it's time for me to have a holiday, I feel like, okay, I did everything I could. I'm not like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because I think I can sort of have that tendency sometimes. And it's not that I'm not grateful for what I've done and the opportunities that I've had, but I still think for me personally, and like especially with content creating and my own personal projects, I haven't done everything that I wanted to do. So that's what I'm doing before the end of the year. How do you get over people exaggerating, sharing embarrassing, traumatic as an identifier for you? What do you mean? I just don't tell people my business. I only tell people things that I'm okay with being shared around. People are going to be propaganda tools for you, whether you like it or not. So be careful what information you share. I'm on day 3 of no hating. Everyone around me is distancing because I stopped complaining to relate. That's good though. It tells you a lot about the nature of your relationships, which is important, I think. At least for me, like I wanted people to distance themselves from me if they were just complaining to relate and build a connection. Like I don't want the foundation or a big part of my relationships with people to be based on us just hating. I used to kind of think that was funny, and now I'm just like, I can't energetically, time-wise, afford to do that, you know? I had a lot more free time before, so I could just be a hater for the sake of being a hater, and I don't feel that way anymore. And, you know, that distance from people like that means that you can get clearer on the types of friendships that you want, okay? Maybe you want to continue being friends with people where you just relate to each other via hating. And then maybe you don't. So you can reconsider like how much time and energy you spend with these people. I'm gonna include that. And it's not like you can't still talk shit and still be critical or whatever. So I think that's a lot of like how people connect over pop culture as well, talking about whether you like something or not. But there's a fine line between a critique and like, oh, I like this, I don't like that. This could have been improved with this, that, and that, and then just being like, this person's corny as fuck. They're so lame. Like so many conversations can go like that. Would you ever do social media full time if you got a financial incentive from it? Probably not. It's too much. Did you experience depression or anxiety during your 20s? How did you navigate that? Yes, girl. All of my content is based on my experience with anxiety and depression. I navigated it through all the things that I talk about in my content, you know? And I talk very openly about how it's not about, like, being disciplined about your life, about your emotions, is not easy. It's not, and especially now, we literally live in societies where it's intentionally designed to be difficult, okay? So I'm not saying like, oh, it's going to be easy if you just do these things, then your life is going to change. I'm like, it might be a very grueling process, but you will ultimately be better off for it when you try and when you make that attempt, in my experience, okay, and in my opinion. It's worth the attempt. There's always value in the attempt to be a better version of yourself, okay? But to double down on things being better as a result of you not changing, I think is naive. The time will pass and you will probably have to implement some sort of change or encounter some kind of discomfort to get to where you want to be. So my content is basically me trying to help people like undo these psychological knots that are created around being able to take like radical action in your life, you know, because that's what I've had to do what I do. So I'm just sharing like what I've learned, my perspective, thoughts and feelings. Maybe it will help you. Maybe it will add to your perspective. I always say that it's not about being more like me. It's about becoming more you, okay? Life is actually not just like a one-way street to some destination. It's kind of more like a bunch of different side quests that you can enjoy. Because I used to think like, okay, what direction am I going? Where do I want to go? What do I want to be? Do I need to have a 5-year plan? And then I was like, who cares? I just want to enjoy my life, you know, to the best of my ability. What can I do to ensure that and create that? Some people do just have like a one-track mind in one direction, but that's very few people, you know? No, literally something just clicked where I was like, I don't have to participate in this. Yeah, I saw your post about having a SAG and Pisces placements and I have the same, which is why I've always resonated with your content, lol. Oh my God, period. Yeah, like the post where it's like basically like the different ways that a Sagittarius and a Pisces can drag you. Like I can very easily tend towards being a negative person and just like spreading hate and critique all the time. And like, I know that I already do that, but I already am like holding back. So I really try to use my powers for good and in like creative and generative and productive ways. So I don't want to be around people or in relationships that bring out a side of me that I'm already putting so much effort in to maintain and like transmute and manage. So yeah, I've been in a lot of situations and friendships where our main theme, the theme of our communication is just like being haters, and I'm over it. I just don't want to do that anymore. Like it is whatever it was, and that's great, but I want things to be educational or to be entertaining. The memes you share on IG stories is fab. Okay, thank you. That's all the validation that I need to continue. What do you think was the cause of being a hater? I think it's just a natural human like negative bias, you know. It gives you this like dopamine high as well because you're like, and it's very low effort. But ultimately, it can put you in like a negative pattern, I think. If you put in the extra work to be positive and to speak life into yourself, into your friends, and into the world, that takes more effort. And it's also like a slower burn, but it ultimately is more sustainable and better for you long term, you know? Love your lives. Thank you for joining. Let me get my makeup bag. Yeah, it's just about bringing awareness to where your time and energy and your thoughts are going. I've seen a massive increase in lesbian relationships in Greece because the girls are so open. Man, lol, I love. Yeah, that's also the same in China, I think. Like straight guys that I know, they're like, every girl is dating a girl now. And I'm like, period. How do I stop being possessive over people and focus more on myself? I compare myself a lot. You do things you enjoy, babe. You're not locked in enough, okay? You've underestimated your own potential to do stuff. If you have time to compare yourself to other people, it means you're not locked in. Like there's actually more that you could be doing with your time that's productive. Because when you really are doing stuff that you enjoy and you feel like you're working towards what matters, of course, there's going to be times where you might compare yourself to other people or you might feel insecure or anxious, but it will be so much easier to move on because you have something that you care about to redirect your focus to. You know what I mean? And you only care about the outcomes of where your efforts go. You're not comparing yourself to other people and what effort they're putting in because you are fully locked in on your own. That is my experience. Because I think it's also like, you know, a projection. You're like comparing yourself to other people because you're like, are they putting in more effort than me? Do they have enough? It's like a subconscious thing where it's like actually an indicator that you could be doing more in a way because you're comparing yourself to another person's outcomes. You only need to compare yourself to your outcomes. 3 Hello Kitties, yay! Does that make sense? Try it. Do a 10-day lock-in challenge where you just work to what you feel is your full potential. Focus, and you'll just notice you don't have enough time to compare yourself to other people. Just bought the Barbie flip phone. I'm so excited. Oh my god, fun. I don't know if I can use that in China because like WeChat. Social media detox. Love that. Maybe I should do that. I don't know. How can I use WeChat on a flip phone? What shade are you? W30. I love this foundation. It's so good. What do you use for a cleanser? I use a La Roche-Posay salicylic acid cleanser, I think. If you get the US version, you can get so many apps on the phone. Okay, are you going somewhere? I'm going to film, I think, edit, and then I'm going out while I'm DJing for Halloween later. So I'll just add extra makeup. I'm going as the girl from Helter Skelter. What's her name again? Slay, have fun. Thank you. Happy Halloween, everyone. Ruriko. I don't drink when I DJ for the most part. I don't really drink in general. I'll have a drink occasionally in a social situation, but don't like drinking. What would you do if you found out that a guy that likes you has been asking about you? Ignore it. Yeah, I don't know. If he likes you, do you like him? Honestly, for me, I think it's really important that men be direct and go out on the emotional limb to approach the girl that they like. If he can't do that, then I feel like, you know, what can he do? I love your no-heading vlogs. They're cute and consumable. It's like, he asked for space when you said that you like... Bruh, this is already too much mental energy for a man. Sorry, it should not be this difficult at the beginning. Do you think it gets easier from here? True, why are you gossiping, boy? Go tell her you love her, literally. I'm sorry, men know what to do when they like a girl. If they can't figure it out, then you're not the girl for him, okay? He's only going to make your life worse after. If he doesn't feel worthy of you from the beginning, you've got a problem. Real, then again, I did set my standards to him. Well, so he knows what I expect. Okay, then he obviously can't meet them. He's not the man for you, babe. And you should never settle. Hello, just got out of a 3-year relationship as a 22-year-old and your videos have helped me so much. Bless! My favorite type of comment, where it doesn't require extra thought from me. Yeah, I think at the early stages, if it's already this indirect communication nonsense, it's too much. Your relationship should be between you and them. You know, why are there third parties being involved? You shouldn't need a mediator. It's like, if I'm going to have a healthy friendship with someone, I shouldn't be talking to all these other people trying to orchestrate this friendship and then needing all these third parties to manage a friendship. A relationship is between me and the other person, not me, the other person, and then like the Greek chorus. We're on week 3 of no contact. Why are you on no contact with someone who you're not even dating? I'm so confused. How to deal with your brain like tricks you into thinking bad stuff about yourself. Meditation, journaling. Notice your thoughts when things come up that are not in line with what you want for your life and who you are. Just be like, that's funny. Hee hee. I'm going to ignore that. Sometimes having a sense of humor with yourself helps to just sort of like jolt you out. He doesn't know I know though. It doesn't matter. Why doesn't he open his mouth and talk to you? The hell? His insecurities are not for you to fill, okay? Don't go closing gaps that aren't your responsibility to close. You should ask why when the thought happens and never say, I don't know, write something, yeah. When people know you're the vibe, sometimes this attracts leeches, 100%. You need to have discernment. That's the only thing about the law of attraction. I'm like, not everything you attract is what you are, okay? Some people just want something from you because you demonstrate a level of value that they want access to. So don't just entertain anything that comes for you, okay? Because the brighter your light shines, the more moths will fly towards you. Our journal dump, yeah. That's really how it is. Okay, mosquitoes coming to suck from you. Don't just assume everything that comes for you is the right match. What is the time? Okay. I think I'm gonna have to go. Going to sleep. Good night. You're awesome. Have fun out. Thank you, babe. Have a good rest. Thanks for joining. I hope everyone has a great Halloween. Enjoy your weekend. More content on the way. Sending love and slay your way as well. Speak soon. Goodbye, YouTube.